Hey guys, fluxjelly here, coming at you guys with another Starcraft 2 replay. And what a game I got for you guys today. We have LiquidZenio versus nAni. nAni, the blue Protoss, spawning here at the bottom right position, and Zenio, the red Zerg, spawning at the left position here on darim altar. LiquidZenio, actually a really good Zerg player, recently signed with Team Liquid. He's actually Korean though, so he did decide to come to the foreigner scene from Korea. Really surprising. A lot of Koreans like to stay in Korea, but he did decide to go to Team Liquid. Really good acquisition by them. I mean, he's an incredible Zerg player. Revolutionizes the game. You know, his mechanics are pretty, they're pretty top notch and that kind of stuff. So it's good for Team Liquid. And over here we've got nAni or Naniwa, the blue Protoss. Naniwa is actually from Sweden, a really solid Protoss player. Really macro-oriented style, but he does do some really weird builds. So it'd be interesting to see what he does for this game. We have darim altar. So we have the pylon going down from Naniwa here at the natural. So it looks like we are going to have that Forge FE, which isn't that much of a surprise. I mean, this isn't really that big of a choke to Forge FE. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me there if he did that. So we have Zenio here, probably going to end up going pool first. I mean, a lot of Zergs these days are going pool first just because, I mean, Protoss Forge FE on pretty much every map these days. So the Forge first, it kind of stops you from doing a 15 hatch because they just put cannons there, and I mean, it's really not worth the risk of going 15 hatch. You might as well just get the pool first at about 14, and we see the pool there going down for Zenio at 14, so pretty standard there. But like I said, I mean, it's not worth the risk of getting the hatch. You just throw the pool down first at 14, get the hatch at about 16-ish if it, depending on, the block, if they put pylon there or not, but usually you can get that down for 16 thereabouts, and you really don't lose that much of an eco. The pylon actually going down premature from Naniwa, so he actually does want to delay that hatch a fair bit. I'm not sure if he's going to let that finish. I mean, I don't see why he would start that without letting it finish, but usually you'll see a Protoss cancel the pylon before it's actually finished so they don't lose the resources, because the Lings will take down that pylon at some point, so he will actually be throwing that there. Might see a Cyber Core as well. I mean, a lot of Protoss like to throw Cyber Cores there just to make it a little bit longer of a delay. Really annoying, but it does put the Protoss behind a little bit as well. Kind of curious to see if he's going to go Nexus first or Cannon first. It looks like he will be going for Nexus because he did save up that 400 minerals, so he does feel safe enough to throw that Nexus down first. Some Protoss actually like to decide to put that Cannon there first and then go for Nexus because sometimes the Zergs like to 10 pool and get their Lings there before the Cannon's done, but in this case, nAni, seeing the pool timing, knows that he can put down that Nexus first, throwing the Cannon down now, probably follow it up with a Gateway like right here, and then he'll probably get his gas and a Cyber Core. Kind of curious to see what build he's going to go into. A couple of builds work on this map. I mean, Colossus obviously works on pretty much every map. You can actually use Blink on this map as well. To a certain extent, you can kind of manipulate this little ridge here, tiny bit. But I mean, Blink stocks in general are really cost efficient versus Zerg units for the most part, so could be either or. Usually like to see 6 gates if you're going Blink, so we do have gas down from Zenio now. He will be going for speed, getting that second queen really quick. I do like that. He does have to get that creep spread going really soon. The more creep spread you have, I mean, just gives you more room to surround the Toss army and stuff like that. I mean, you do have to get flanks off on a Protoss army. You can't just kind of funnel into them, or you'll pretty much lose your whole army, like, without a doubt. So we are going to have Naniwa here throwing down. Looks like it's going to be his Cyber Core after Gateway here. He has double gas down right now, so he could be doing some kind of a 3-gate. Not quite sure here. He might be going pretty sentry heavy. It's pretty early for 2 gas. We'll be going for that +1, it looks like. A lot of Protoss like to do a timing attack with +1 off of Forge first, so wouldn't be surprised to see that either. The Cybernetics Core going down now. So as for now, I don't think this wall is actually completely finished yet. I'm pretty sure this probe is actually in a space that has to be walled, so he probably is going to just wait for that Zealot to come out, and he'll fill that up with a Zealot, and then he should be fine after that. So he is chrono boosting probes right now, so he is going fairly eco for the time being. Zenio, I should say, on the other hand, just getting his hatch up now. And I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. I mean, that's such a strong opening for Protoss to put that pylon there with that Forge first. I mean, he actually had his Nexus up before Zenio's hatch was up, and that's a big deal. I mean, that puts him pretty far ahead. If you look at the income tab, I mean, the Protoss is actually ahead in workers at this point, which is unheard of. I mean, that's pretty. Zerg is supposed to be ahead in workers, like, pretty much at all times, but, I mean, that's a really strong opening. The double chrono boosted probes just gets out so many probes so quick. The Zealot looks like he's going to get picked off in the middle of the map, but he is going to run home, so it looks like he will get away. So we have another Zealot coming out now with +1. Warp Gate getting chrono boosted once. Not sure if he didn't really save up any chrono boost. Doesn't look like he's going to go for anything too quick, but he is chrono boosting that out right now. Throwing down a Stargate as well, so it looks like he's going to do some Stargate pressure. A lot of Zergs a lot of Protoss, I should say, like to do this against Zergs, so they can deny that third really quick with that Void Ray. It works really well. I mean, the Void Rays are really good at denying expansion, especially on a map like this, because, I mean, you either have to knock down these rocks and take this expansion, in which case it's going to take a while to do, so you need to knock down those rocks. Or you could take this one, which is really, really far away, and I mean, if the Void Ray gets over here while the hatch is building, there's pretty much no way the Zerg is going to be able to kill it, because, I mean, the Void Ray is just, look at the rush distance, just like this. Imagine how long it's going to take a queen to walk all the way down there. We do have Zenio, or Naniwa, I should say, checking for that third base. Seeing that it's not up yet, so he doesn't have to send his Void Ray over there too quick. He is chrono boosting out that Void Ray, though, so he does want to deny that third. He's probably going to check down here next. And we do have another 2 gateways coming up as well, so it looks like he's not going to be doing too much of a heavy Stargate play. Just wanted denying that third base. Waiting for that +1. And he's actually throwing down his 3rd and 4th gas now as well, so it looks like he's going to be teching up a little bit here. A couple of links for Zenio just coming in and scouting around, see if he can find anything out. He sees that sentry, and he sees that warp gate's done, and he sees that upgrade. So that's pretty telltale. I mean, seeing that upgrade means he's obviously not going to be going double Stargate or anything like that, which is pretty important to know. He does see that Void Ray now, however, that Overlord does see it, so he knows there is 1 Stargate. Pretty safe to say there's not 2, but he will be throwing, he does have his Evo, so he can throw down some spores if he needs it. Hydralisks are on the way right now as well, so he'll be just fine from these Void Rays. I mean, he's not going to take too much damage. The drone going over now to take the 3rd base as well, so he's going to have to get something over there to defend that 3rd. The Void Ray is going to go check that. Actually, a Phoenix now out now as well, so he will have a little bit of an air presence here. Spire going down now for Zenio as well. Teching pretty quick. I mean, he just got his Hydrogen. Now he's getting Spire right away. He got pretty early gases, so that does let him do that. But, yeah, not much room for units here for Zenio, as he is teching pretty quick here. That Void Ray did take a little bit of damage, though, from those Hydras, and it looks like he's going to be pushing out the Hydralisks right now. Do a little bit of a push. He might be able to catch this Void Ray if he sees it, and he does actually catch the Void Ray, so that will get picked off, it looks like. Yeah, the Void Ray does go down. So, big win there from Zenio. Did pick off that Void Ray. It's a lot of gas used up there, so pretty good win there. So now he pretty much has free reign over the front of this base. I mean, there's only a couple sentries and a couple zealots, and Hydras rip through zealots and sentries. So it will be interesting to see if any damage can be done. A Dark Shrine now on the way as well for Naniwa, so he's sensing a bit of urgency here, trying to get that Dark Shrine down. The upgrade was completed. The upgrade was completed, so that Forge being lost is not that big of a deal. It looks like he's probably going to try to target down this Cyber Core next, so another Cyber Core does have to be built, and there it is right away. He does know this is probably going to get taken out. The Hydralisk range is too good for this for these Stalkers to deal with. I mean, they're just going to be able to pick away at this as much as they want. And it looks like this will go down now, and the Lings are ready to run in, but there are sentries here. He does have to get some key force fields off on these Lings. If they run in, it's going to be a big trouble here for Zenio. And Zenio is running in now. The force field down. Not very good force field, but he does decide to pull out. Zenio not wanting to lose all his Lings here. Knows that he did a little bit of damage with that Cyber Core. Didn't actually realize, though, that Cyber Core is pretty much done right now, so it's not that much of a hit to Naniwa's army. He will be able to warp in units now, any minute now, so there they are there. So Lings and Hydra still out on the map here, making Mutalisk now, so he's going to try to do some probe harass here with the Mutas. He's only got about 7 Mutas now, or is that 8? So 8 Mutas will be able to be shooed away by these Stalkers and these Sentries. But now he's forcing a lot of Stalkers out of Naniwa, and I think this is pretty much why he's doing this. He just wants to force a lot of Stalkers. He might get the Phoenix kill here. The Phoenix does actually get away in time, getting a few shots off. One Muta is really low. Probably going to get picked off by this Phoenix right here. Yeah, he does pick off that Muta. Nice play there from Naniwa. Great control to pick off that weakened Mutalisk. A couple more running in now, so the Muta count is starting to raise up a little bit, but this is forcing, like I said, a lot of Stalkers out of Naniwa, so it is, I think that is part of Zenio's plan. He's going to try to force Stalker and then try to counter it, I don't know, with either Lings or Hydras. That's usually what I try to do if I'm playing against a Protoss, is make them go Stalker and then just flood them with Lings and Hydras, and the Stalkers just can't keep up, and then you just pretty much win, basically. But the third base up and running now for Zenio. He is throwing down a macro hatch at this point. Hydra range not actually done yet, so that's kind of surprising. I guess he's probably not gonna commit to Hydras, I guess. I mean, if he's not gonna get that range. He's getting his +1 attack for his Mutas. As his Queen checks are lacking a little bit. He's up to 70 energy already, and it's only the 12-minute mark, so he's falling behind a little bit on his injects. Looks like he's trying to do a little bit too much here with the harass. Looks like he's taking up a little bit too much of his APM. But Mutas are being active on the map. He does see that there's no third on the way yet. So that is good info there. He does have his third up and running, so he's ahead. That Forge is going down now for Naniwa. If you look at the income tab right now, we have 62/48 for the Zerg, so a pretty good economic position for the Zerg. I mean, he's got free reign to tech up. If you look at the army count, he's up by about 50 food, so he's in a pretty good position as of now. He's still droning up a little bit. Should be seeing Hive here soon. He should be throwing his Infestation Pit down fairly soon, I would imagine, because, I mean, you can't stick to Muta tech for the entire game. It will get beaten at some point. I mean, the Stalkers are just going to get there's just going to be too many Stalkers, and they're really, really cost efficient if you think of the cost. I mean, 4 Stalkers is pretty much the same amount of gas as 1 Muta, so... There's 2 Stalkers, sorry. Great math there, right? I mean, you know, 50 times 4, yeah, that's 100, of course. But, yeah, no, I mean, 2 Stalkers for 1 Muta, I mean... usually you'll be able to get that kind of a trade. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a transition here out of Muta and go into Hive fairly soon. So right now, it's pretty much a standstill. We do have the Baneling Nest on the way. Baneling Nest on the way as well. So it looks like he might be trying to go into some Baneling drops perhaps, which is going to be wicked. I love when I see Baneling drops. They're actually really hard to pull off. So I'd like to see him pulled off very well. It'd be cool. So again, we have Naniwa sort of closing the gap a little bit. He's about, what is that, 38 food down now, so he is closing the gap a tiny bit. A little bit of harass from the mutas, getting picked off there, losing a couple of mutas. The pack is still pretty big though. I mean, he's still at 19 mutas. He is going to be able to do a fair bit of harassment, picking off a pylon, but now his muta's starting to overextend. He lost about 3 there, so that's really not what he wants to do at this point. I mean, he really can't afford to lose that much gas in mutas. He does need to keep his army fairly high, because, I mean, at this point, Naniwa is just turtling, so, I mean, you can't really afford to lose your army while Protoss is turtling. You have to kind of try to force trades a little bit, but they have to be cost efficient, and I mean, mutas aren't going to trade that cost efficiently with stalkers like that, especially in that kind of a number and with sentries. I mean, Guardian Shield is really, really good against mutas because it just cuts down so much damage. But we do have the mutas here running into the natural again. It looks like they're going to try to pick off some more pylons, just be annoying. Keeping Naniwa pinned back as well. He can't really move out at this point when the mutas are just killing his pylons like this. Picking off the stalker there, not too bad. But a little bit of a push here coming from Naniwa. He's got a lot of stalkers at the middle of the map. The mutas just fly straight over the stalkers. A lot of mutas getting hurt there. He lost about 2 or 3 mutas, and a couple of them getting put down into the red and the orange. So really, really not what he wants to do there. The tower is now taken from Naniwa, so we can see everything at this point. Mutas and Lings are trying to run around. Looks like they're going to try and do a little bit of a run by here, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. Naniwa's all over that with the vision on the tower. Leaving a stalker there. Really nice play. And at this point, the Protoss army is starting to get really big, and Zenio has to do something about this. He has to trade with it somehow and keep the army count really low. If you let the Protoss just max out, it's just going to do a lot of damage to you. One muta getting picked off there with a nice blink from Naniwa. But like I was saying, you can't let the Protoss just max out. He's going to have a really, really strong army, and it's going to be really hard to deal with without Hive Tech. I mean, if we look at... I mean, Baneling speed on the way as well, so it looks like he's going to try to do a little bit of damage to those Banelings, which is actually really good because Protoss armies tend to clump up a little bit, and if you can pick off a lot of sentries and keep that energy count down, that means you can get a couple hits off with those Banelings, and when the Protoss army clumps up, the Banelings actually become sort of cost efficient against stalkers, and it looks like the mutas are trying to pick off that Cyber Core, but it's really not going to happen. These mutas are starting to overextend a little tiny bit. I don't like how aggressive he's being with these. He's taking a lot of damage here. He's not really trading with the army. He's only got like 1 stalker kill out of that, and he did some shield damage to the Cyber, which is about it. So, I mean, Zenio's got to make something happen here. He's starting to let the Protoss get back into this game. He's up to 160 food thereabouts, so, I mean, he's starting to get close to max, and I don't see the Infestation Pit down yet, and there's no Hive Tech on the way, so this could be a little bit dangerous for Zenio. He does need that Hive Tech. You do need Broodlords, or Ultras, for that matter, I guess. Even Infestors to deal with this kind of an attack. And here it comes now, so the Protoss army is going to move into the natural here. The Phoenix does go down, but there is a lot of Stalkers here. These mutas are not going to be able to shoot away these Stalkers. And it looks like Zenio he's trying to go for the base trade. He's a little bit indecisive here. He doesn't really know what he's doing. Banelings are rolling in. Will the Colossus see the Banelings in time? The Banelings actually decide not to engage, which is kind of surprising. But it looks like the Natural's getting shredded here from Zenio. Naniwa is just doing a ton of damage to this Natural. In the meantime, we do have a base trade going on here. Zenio did run in with his mutas, so he's doing a ton of damage to the Natural with the Protoss as well, and this is what you have to do. I mean, this muta army cannot engage this army directly, so you kind of have to go for the base trade, do as much damage as you can, try to remax your army, and then deal with the Protoss army, because if he can kill this Protoss army after this attack, he will win the game. The mutas are doing a ton of damage. Natural has gone down. They're running into the main now. A couple of Banelings coming in as well against these Stalkers. Rolling, and the Stalkers have nowhere to go. They got a blink out of there. Nice blink there from Naniwa, putting them into that little crevice, but there are too many mutas to deal with. These Stalkers will go down, inevitably. And the Banelings are rolling in as well, so all the Stalkers are down now, so Zenio has free reign over this entire main here, doing a ton of damage. The Stalker army is coming back from Naniwa. He has taken out the main as well. All the tech is gone from Zenio. He will probably pick off this Infestation Pit and the Hive, or the lair, I should say. The Spawning Pool has gone down as well. And at this point, these Hydras are pretty much all that Naniwa has left, and these Colossus. So he does have to kill off this Zerg army and find these expansions, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble. As I mean, all his tech has gone down as well. His robotics base gone, his cyber core's gone, his gateways being picked off by these slings, and these mutas are starting to clump up a little bit, and there is a lot of those. So I mean, the army for Naniwa right now is split up. So if he can engage this army while it's split up, and then there's only this much left, he will win the game. The Spawning Pool is being rebuilt as well as the Spire. And I mean, there's a lot of banked resources here for Zenio as well. I'm not sure where his second layer is. I don't see another layer. He must have thrown that Spire down before his layer got taken out, which is really, really good by Zenio there. A lot of Lings on the field as well. They're not the best of upgrades, but I mean Zenios or Naniwas aren't that great either. So I mean the Lings 1-1 will be just as good as the Stalkers 1 or 2-0, I should say. So it looks like at this point Naniwa being a little bit indecisive on what to do. He should be keeping his army together, trying to find these expansions from Zenio. It's pretty obvious where they're going to be. I mean, you can kind of tell, but at this point now we have a little bit of a flank coming in here. The Lings and the Mutas are running in against the Stalkers. The Colossus does get taken out, so at this point Lings are going to do a ton of damage to these Stalkers, and the Mutas are overhead doing a ton of damage as well. These Stalkers are going down. They do have to get out of here. A couple do get left behind with the bad blink. And I mean, the Stalker count just got demolished, and the Cyber Core has been taken out, so there can be no more Stalkers coming in, and that is all that Naniwa has to deal with these Mutas, and it doesn't look very good for Naniwa at this point. I mean, the Mutas are taking everything out here. There's not much left for Naniwa. He has no probes left at all, so no more buildings can be made. His army is getting shredded. It got split up, and now the Mutas are coming in to finish off this base here, and this is Naniwa's last-ditch effort here. He does have to kill off all these Mutas with these Stalkers, but there are a lot of Lings behind running in, and it looks like this is going to be it for Naniwa. I think Zenio does have this game won. I mean, he's still on 3 bases. He's got his Spire Tech still going, and there's the GG from Naniwa, so there's just not much he could do there. The base trade didn't really go his way. He took out the main mostly. He kind of left some stuff up, but I mean, he killed a lot of drones. He killed off the natural, but he also lost his own natural, and he didn't have a third. So I mean, he was only on 2 base, and he lost 1, and he lost a lot of his tech here. So he couldn't remake any Stalkers to deal with the Mutas, and the Spire was remade. So really well played there by Zenio. He did expect that base trade to happen, which when you're playing with Mutas, usually you do have to end up base trading because you just can't engage the Protoss army head on. So really great play there from Zenio. So hope you guys enjoyed this game, and stay tuned for more.